Yo, yo, RX back with another recap of not a card this time, but a season. And this time it is a recap, like I said I was gonna do, of season 33 of the Ultimate Fighter, Team Cormier versus Team Sonnen. We back with another recap of a tough season that was a tough season. Yeah, I'm not gonna say a lot here. It won't be a long video, 5-10 minutes. More than likely, not a lot to say. I did want to do a video overall. I could have done it short, but I think this could deserve a bit of a video. Because it is still something UFC does. It's still the Ultimate Fighter, which is legendary, but washed. And the season was okay. I'll talk about the fighters and the fights from it. So, yeah, it was a tough season. If you missed it, did you miss anything? I would say no. I don't think it was bad. I thought there was a lot more good than bad on the show. But if you decide not to watch it, did you really miss anything? No. I can honestly say you did not miss anything. It was fine. Probably the best tough season in a hot minute in the last couple years since the Volkanovski Brian Ortega season, which was pretty good. And yeah, this was, again, compared to Grasso's season and Nunez and Connor's, this was better. This is the best season we've got in a minute, and it was fine. So I can't really say much bad about it, and I thought it was fine. Like I said, so yeah, not really much else in that regard. So yeah, to look over the fighters and the fights from it, we'll go pick by pick as we got on here. Tapology does not have the season up on their thing yet. They will eventually, but gotta do it like this. So we'll go pick by pick. We start off with the first pick of the season by Daniel Cormier, Eduardo Henrique, who got beat in episode 1 by Murray Joseph. Yeah, this dude's not very good. I didn't see anything impressive from this dude. Don't know why he was DC's first pick. Probably one of the worst first picks in tough history. This dude already had the fight booked outside the UFC on the 22nd, so not long from now. 29 years old. I doubt we'll see him again. Maybe he'll be on Contender Series. Maybe. Or maybe he would give short notice call to step in for a fight, but outside one of those two reasons, I don't think we're going to see him again. And if we did see him again in that regard, I think he would lose. Again, I didn't see anything impressive from him. He fought in episode 1 against Joseph, got submitted in episode 1, and yeah, not a lot good to say about. And Eduardo, I thought he was kind of shit. Again, terrible first pick. And yeah, man, I think he's a dude carrying around like a kid's toy hammer. Stupid. Or maybe that was someone else. I don't remember. Someone was doing that on the show before their fight, which they lost. And yeah, so whichever one it was, I might have been him. That was stupid. And just like picking Eduardo Henrique, pick 1 by DC was fucking stupid. Waste of a pick. Not a good fighter, and I doubt we see him again. Then for the second pick, a dude we'll be talking about plenty this week, Joseph Morales. I'll wait to talk about the finale guys. So I want to talk about everyone around him, around the 4 finale guys. So we'll talk about Joseph at the end of the video. But yeah, on paper, good pick by Chael. Good first pick. Got the finale. Can't complain there. Then also for the second pick by DC, starting with Rodrigo, who we'll talk about at the end since he's in the finale. Then we had maybe the most disappointing fighter from this season, the second pick of Chael, Diego Biagini, the Brazilian bad boy from the Fighting Nerds, who fought in the last round 1 fight of the fucking show and looked terrible, losing to Rodrigo in a snooze fest. He's not very good. He talks a big game, and he's not good at all. He looked dreadful. I thought he looked terrible, and he got completely smashed by Rodrigo. Like, this dude's not good. Not a good second pick by Chael, 9-1, 28 years old, so again, outside of being a fighting nerd, there's not really much to this guy that makes him interesting. I maybe again just and I'll say this for a lot of guys here. Maybe we'll see him on Contender Series in the future. I doubt it. Like, he's not very good unless he just goes on. He isn't again outside being a fighting nerd. That's the only thing that might get him into the UFC in the future. He's not very good from what I saw, and again, not a good pick by Chael. Maybe we see him on Contender Series because he's a fighting nerd, but I doubt it. So, Diego talked a big game, was one of the more interesting guys of the season, but he sucks. So, he should have spent more time trying to not shit the bed in his fight, and less time talking shit to the guy who beat the shit out of him. So, just a bad fighter. Then for the third pick, Alibi, again, another guy we'll talk about after. Then we had Chael, third pick. Oh god, this name's gonna be easy to say. Furkabek Yokubov. Yeah, this dude was not very good. He did lose in round 1. Who did he lose to Levy, I wanna say? No. Who the... No, he lost to... Who the fuck did he lose to? I don't remember. Emmanuel. Yes, he lost to Emmanuel. Had a fun fight, got beat by Emmanuel, which is understandable. 14-4, 30 years old, from Uzbekistan. I think the only fighter from Uzbekistan to ever be on The Ultimate Fighter. Didn't see a lot with this guy, not gonna talk too much shit, because I do remember him having a good fight with Emmanuel. And again, he lost to Emmanuel, a lot more understandable than losing to Joseph or Rodrigo. But, yeah, not much to say about this guy. Very, forgettable. I doubt we ever see him again. He is already 30 years old. Just like, there's always a caveat, he is from Uzbekistan, which has, like, no talent in UFC right now, so maybe he would get a contract in the near future on Contender Series or something like that. But unless something like that happens, I doubt we're gonna see him again. So, yeah, one of the more forgettable guys of the show, one of the more respectable losers of this season, and, yeah, not much to say about Futabek. All I gotta say, you lost to Emmanuel, good job. That's not a bad thing at all. Then we had our final finalist. The rest after him will be guys we already talked about. Daniil, talked about at the end. Then Chael's fourth pick, who we just saw lose to Daniil in the last episode of the season. Matt Dixon, returning to a UFC opportunity from the Contender Series a couple years ago, where he lost to Oran Kosi, which that was already a bad start. He did rattle off 3 wins since then and did get a second chance. 29 years old, 11-1. Matt looked good. Matt looked pretty good. He looked good in his first round matchup where he got the win against, was it Alex Sanchez, I believe, who he knocked out. So he looked good there. Fought Daniil in the second to the last fight of the show. So, and he actually did a pretty good showing there. He could have won, but he did get knocked out. Matt, I think, is definitely another guy who's one of the better losers of the season. He looked like a decent fighter. He has some good striking, good power. 11-1, 28 years old, or 29 years old. I could see him stepping in short notice for a fight, to be honest. I would not be shocked by that. I don't think he's gonna get another Contender Series chance. I'd be pretty shocked if he did. So I think his best hope is a short note. Like, let's say he goes on gets a few wins in the next, like, by 2027 when he's like 31, 32. He's got like 3 wins since the show. I could see him getting an opportunity then. But outside of that, I don't know though, because this is his second chance he fumbled. He lost to on a Contender Series, as I said, and now here. So that is 2 strikes. So we'll see if the UFC would give him another chance in the future. Time will tell. But yeah, one of the more respectable losers of the season, and good on him, man. There you go. I guess I lied. This might be about a 20-25 minute video. My bad. Then we had the 5th pick, and the guy who should be fighting Saturday, but if he didn't get fucking robbed by the judges, Emmanuel Rodriguez, DC's 5th pick, 5-0, 25 years old. He beat Joseph Morales in episode 10, I believe it was. Yeah, no, episode 11. Yeah, because it just happened. So in episode 11, he 100% won that fight against Joseph, and he got screwed by the judges. There's no world he lost that fight. But he got robbed, which getting robbed on the Ultimate Fighter is bullshit. That's sad. But that's what happened. I thought he was the best flyweight on the show. I still... kind of hard to dispute that. Like, Alibi will probably take that crown, but Emmanuel, I think is number 2. Again, he beat Joseph, and I can guarantee we'll see Emmanuel Rodriguez in the UFC. In the coming years, he'll probably be on Contender Series. I could 100% see him on Contender Series next year. Mexican, so he has a good following there. Fuck, he might just get signed for Noche UFC next year. I wouldn't be shocked for that. So, yeah, he got robbed. He should be in the finale Saturday fighting Alibi, and I'd be picking him to win that. But he got fucking robbed. So hopefully he can bounce back. Hopefully he'll go on a tear. And again, I think we will see him in UFC. He's the best loser, because he didn't lose, but he is the best loser from the season, and we will see him in the UFC sooner than later. I believe we will see him in the UFC someday. And yeah, I feel bad for him because he got fucked over, but he didn't lose his O, thankfully, and he'll bounce back. He'll be in the UFC before we know it. So, kid's good, and he will be on Contender Series next year. I almost can guarantee it. So, there you go. Then we had speaking of the Contender Series, Chael's 5th pick, returning from a stint on the Contender Series a couple years ago, just like Matt Dixon, where he did lose on the show as well. We had Chael's 5th pick, Robert Echeverria, 10-2. I think one of the more experienced guys of the show, 29 years old. He was on the Contender Series back in 2022, losing to Rafael Filho, which is a little more understandable than Oran Kosi. And yeah, he did good. He won his first fight, got against Tumelo, who we'll talk about, and then he did lose to Levy, which is understandable. I don't think Roybert's good, to be honest. Like, even in that first fight he won against Tumelo, who we'll talk about soon, that Tumelo guy's garbage. So, and he still almost lost that fight, so he just doesn't really block punches well. He doesn't not have a good defense. His chin's very hittable, and he's just not very good. So, I'm good for him getting a second chance from Venezuela. So, of course, I think the first, would he be the first Venezuelan male to be on the show? Because I know Pena was. So good for him there. Again, he got to the second round, which is farther than I thought he would get, but he's just not good. And now, I guess if you want to say his only 2 losses to keep him out the UFC have been Rafael Filho and Alibi, which are 2 pretty understandable losses. I guess you can, if you want to look at the silver lining, but I'm just going to say he's not very good. He was only on the show because he was Venezuelan, and he was on Contender Series, and I think the second part might be fucking meaningless, and he's just not very good. So, good job against the second round, but he just didn't. He's just not very good. Then pick 6, who I thought was going to be in the finale, but lost a few weeks ago to Rodrigo. DC's 6th pick, Jeff Crichton at middleweight. Why does it look like he's next to Eddie Hearn? Yeah, Jeff, good on the feet, not really good on the ground, and we saw that against Rodrigo. Jeff looked good. Jeff might have had the best fight of the season, well, one of the best fights of the season. His round 1 fight, getting a win against the Binder Irish kid, and then he just couldn't really get going against Rodrigo. No takedown defense, no grappling game. He's just easily beatable. He would not last in UFC, especially at middleweight with guys like GM3, Petrosky, Vieta. So he's just not very good. You lost to Rodrigo, which how the fuck do you lose to Rodrigo? And yeah, I thought he looked. I thought he was gonna beat Rodrigo, but he didn't. And we'll see what happens with him. I don't remember how old he is, and it's not on here, so great. I thought we'll see Jeff again. Like his grappling, anyone who fights him now is just gonna grapple him. So he's just not. He's a good striker. A little bit of grappling in his first fight on show, but against a tomato can. And yeah, not very much to say about Jeff. You lost to Rodrigo. Do better, fucker. Then we had J06 pick, Richard Martins, another guy who flamed out pretty quickly on the show. I think he was the second fight of the season, and he lost to Daniil. Yeah, he lost to Daniil in the second episode of the season. Yeah, I look at him. He's the middleweight. Eduardo Henrique. He's not very good. He's a Brazilian with a nice record, but he's not very good. 9-1, no age, coming from LFA on a nice winning streak. Yeah, didn't really see much from him. I didn't think much of him on the show. Didn't look really good against Daniil. I don't know if we'll see him. Maybe I'm guessing he's not that old. He doesn't look very old, so maybe he'll be on Contender Series in a year or two, get another opportunity. But outside of that, I don't think we'll see this dude in UFC. I don't think he looked good at all. I don't think he's good at all. And yeah, not very much to say about Martins. Again, in my opinion, just the middleweight version of Eduardo. Brazilian with a nice record who got exposed for being shit. That was Martins. I get he fought Daniil, which is understandable, but you still lost, so good job. The last two flyweights, when we'll begin with DC's 7th pick of Tumelo, who we talked about earlier, who lost to Roybert. Tumelo Manyamala, the greenest fighter of the show, 26 years old, 6-1 from South Africa. Man, they would have loved if he would have won and was on the same card as Drakus, but no luck there. Yeah, this dude sucks. He's too fucking green. Like, he fought Roybert, he did okay against Roybert, but after round 1 he quit. DC was ready to fucking strangle him after the fight, and yeah, he gassed out, quit, and let Roybert finish him. He sucks. He's too green to be on the show. He's just too green. His striking's okay, but he has no grappling, no cardio, no heart. 6-1, 26 years old. Maybe he'll get a second opportunity eventually on a Contender Series. I'm not saying maybe they'll be back on The Ultimate Fighter, you never know, but I'm just hypothetically saying it's unlikely. So that's why I'm only bringing up the Contender Series. Not a high chance, but you never know. They might give Tumelo another chance. He's not very good. Right now, he's too inexperienced and green to be in the UFC. And yeah, not very much to say. I thought he sucked. One of the worst fighters on the show. And not very much to say there. Just not a good fighter. Then for the final flyweight drafted, we had Chael's 7th pick, the Indian Arshian Memon. I know I butchered that, sorry. India, I'm sorry, you're never gonna get a good fighter. I swear to God, y'all are just destined to have shit fighters forever. And Memon is another example of that. He lost to Emmanuel in, I believe, episode 3, which is understandable. But how many L's can... Thank God for Puja Tomar getting y'all on the board, where, my God, you'd still be losing. He's Indian, we knew he was gonna suck, no offense. But y'all are not good fighters. I know there's a guy on Contender Series next week. He's probably gonna lose. Like, the unluckiest fighters in the world. Fucking... Anshan Jubli, Puja Tomar. Wasn't there another one? So... yeah, I'm sorry, but we knew this guy was gonna suck. He was the last flyweight drafted for a reason. 30 years old, 7-0. I doubt we ever see him again. He's not good. And, Yeah, sorry, India. You're never gonna have a good fighter, it seems. Pooja Tomar, the fucking crowning achievement. I'm sorry. Then for our final two picks, our DC's final pick at middleweight, he took the other Mexican on the show, Alex Sanchez, 10 or 15-3, 31 years old. I think the oldest dude on the show would have to be 31. Yeah, this dude sucks. I'm gonna lie to you, this dude's horrendous. Who did he lose to on the show? Matt Dixon, yeah, I brought that up earlier. Yeah, this dude, like, lacks so many basic fundamentals, it's not even funny. This dude might legit be the worst fighter on the show. I think the Indian dude might be better. Yeah, this dude was horrendous, and, yeah, not much to say about this dude. He was Matt Dixon's punching bag. Again, he lacks just basic fucking fundamentals, and that's why he lost, so he sucks. Pretty simple. Tomato can. And lastly, the final pick, Chael's final pick, and the final pick in general, the Irishman, the Mr. What did the NFL call him? Mr. What the fuck is it? Mr. Forgettable? I don't remember. Mr. Unreliable, Mr. Unimportant. I don't know what the fuck is it. Mr. Irrelevant, there you go, I did have to Google it, I'm stupid. The Mr. Irrelevant of the season, and God was he. The final pick, Andreas Binder, the only man to miss weight this season. Yeah, he did fight Jeff, and the weight, I think he missed, and they had to move the fight to like 175 or some bullshit, so good job, dickhead. Why sign up for a show where you can't make the goddamn weight, you dummy? And, yeah, he sucked. He got mauled by Jeff. He was only on the show because he's Irish, and he's terrible. So, just like the Paddy dude, who I believe is fighting on the Contender Series from last season, this dude's terrible. Like, it's that simple. This dude's not good at all. Only on the show because he was Irish. He is 28 years old. He did fight in PFL. Did he win at least? He never fought in PFL. Why the fuck is he wearing their shorts? And, yeah, he sucks. I can't say much else. So, like most Irish fighters not named Conor McGregor at 145, he sucked. And, I still think he's better than the Alex Sanchez dude, but yeah, this dude's terrible. It's that simple. So, yeah, terrible fighter. Mr. Irrelevant for a reason. Couldn't even make the fucking weight. Idiot. Oh, welterweight, my bad. Did I say middleweight this whole time? Welterweight. These are some big ass welterweights. But even so. Yeah, there you go. Andreas, you suck. And that's the cast of the show outside of the 4 finale, guys, who we'll talk about in a second. Like I said, for the guy who I thought was the best guy to not go to the finale, easily Emmanuel, because he got robbed, and he should have went to the finale. For if I had to pick someone who's not Emmanuel, because he necessarily did go to the finale because he got robbed against Joseph, I'd probably say Matt Dixon. I'd probably say would be the best fighter to not make it to the finale. He looked fine, and high chance between him and Emmanuel. I think they'll both get another shot in the UFC, or to be in the UFC down the road on Contender Series next year or so. And yeah, I think those were the two best losers. The worst fighter of the show might be Alex Sanchez. That dude is horrendous. It's between one of the three, and it's funny, they're all next to each other. I would probably say, if I had to rank the three, Andreas, Tumelo, and Alex is probably how I'd rank them. Sanchez, and that's from best to worst. That Sanchez dude was fucking garbage and just lacked basic fundamentals, so yeah, he was the worst fighter of the season. And now, with all that out the way, we can get to the last thing, and that is the finale fight. If I'm not gonna break them down right now because obviously I'm gonna do that in the breakdown video. But our 2 finale fights for season 33 will be at flyweight: Alibi Adrias versus Joseph Morales. It should be Emmanuel, and yeah, I'm not gonna give away my pick, but we know who's winning this one. I wish there was betting odds on Tapology right now, but again, I guess I'll save that for the breakdown on Friday. So yeah, that's flyweight, and then at welterweight, we have Rodrigo Cezinando versus Daniil Danchenko. Rodrigo's so fucking boring, bro. He's the Ryan Loder of the season. He's just boring. So, this is Ryan Loder versus Robert Valentin 2.0, like, literally. It's the boring wrestler versus the fun striker, and Daniil is actually training partners with fucking Robert, so, what did I tell you? Yeah, not really, again, not gonna break it down, but there you go. Those are our 4 finalists. If the right 2 guys win these fights, then we should have 2 good Ultimate Fighters. They can't be worse than what we've got lately with fucking Ryan Loder, Myron Santos, who the fuck else has won? Ricky Torcios, Mo Usman, Juliana Miller, who won last year? Oh no, fucking Kurt Halaba. I'm trying to remember all the winners since it came back. It's funny Brian Battle's on this card because he's the only good thing to come out of Tough, winner-wise. Like, Brady Heastan is pretty good too, but outside of those 2, like, Tough has produced, like, no good talent. I think, like, Andre Petrosky would be the, like, other, like, alright fighter from Tough lately. So hopefully these guys change it, and hopefully some of the guys who lost on the show as well change that. Again, I do think Emmanuel will be in the UFC, and he will be good. So, yeah, that's about what I gotta say for season 33 of Tough. It was fine at the end of the day. I thought it was perfectly fine. If I had to rate the season, I would say, and I'm just going off the fights. No one cares about that 40 minutes of filler before the fights. I would say a 7.8, I think would be fair. 7.8. The fights were, most of them were pretty good. It did kind of falter at the end. I'd say both Rodrigo fights were, like, if I had to say the bad fights of the season, were both Rodrigo fights, Joseph and Emmanuel, because it was a robbery, and I say that's it. 3 pretty bad fights. Outside of that, got some good knockouts by Daniil, Matt Dixon, Emmanuel, Alibi. Got some good fights. Jeff and Binder was really good. That would probably be that or Daniil and Dixon would be my fight of the season. And I enjoyed it. Again, if you didn't watch it, did you miss anything? No, you could go without, well, unless for picking these fights you did, but let's just say you're not a predictor, then no, I don't think you missed much. But would I recommend it if you're just skipping the 40 minutes and just want to watch all the fights, which you could probably do in like a couple of hours? If you asked me if you should just take a couple hours and watch the 12 fights of the season, I would say yeah. I would say they were worth it. They were fun. I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them, and I'm excited for the finale fights on Saturday. So, decent season of Tough. 7.8 out of 10. Best Tough season we've got since Volk and Ortega, and that was actually good in and outside of the cage. No one cares about the 40 minutes of filler that Tough has before the fights, and the DC and Chael were forgettable coaches. Still, it was fine. It was fine. So I enjoyed it. Hopefully next season's better. Hopefully they actually get people who are gonna fight as coaches, and yeah, hopefully they pick weight classes that need fighters, not welterweight and flyweight. We need heavyweights. We need light heavyweights. We need women's bantamweights. Those are 3 weight classes we need fighters in. So maybe do a Tough season there. Maybe women's flyweight. those four weight classes, or any other female weight class, but especially bantamweight. If we can get, if next year, if I had to make the weight classes for next year's tough, it'd be heavyweight and women's bantamweight, because it's the two we need most. So I swear they did that season before. I think that's a season Macy Chasson won or some bullshit. So do it again. We need fighters, and yeah, pick coaches who are actually gonna fight. If I had to throw an idea out there on the fly, do fucking, I don't know, do fuck, you always should be a champion. Do, fuck, man. Do Volk and Evloev. I don't fucking know. Yeah, sure. Do Volk and Evloev. That'd be interesting. Do it. Ilya and Islam. There you go. Do something like that. Do something. We want it. If tough coaches should always be a champion and a challenger. So there you go. Volk and Evloev, Volk Yair, Islam, Ilya, fucking Marab against somebody. I don't know. Do something fun. And yeah, we love Chael and DC, but it was a silly coach's decision. And yeah, and if I had to rate the coaches, DC I think was a pretty good coach. I would say DC was like a 9 out of 10 coach. Chael was kind of like a 4. He seemed very checked out a lot of it. So yeah, not saying Chael's one of the worst tough coaches of all time, but he wasn't great either. So there you go. That's all I gotta say, though. Hopefully next season is better, because they're still gonna be doing this shit for some reason. As much as Tough is washed, it is still legendary, and I guess Dana agrees, so they're gonna keep doing this shit forever. And, yeah, we'll see how Tough 34 is this time next year, so there you go. Not very much else to say. Went 20 minutes over the 10-minute idea I had, but there you go. So that's Tough 33. If this helped you consider watching it before the finale's on Saturday, good. If not, sorry. And I hope you enjoyed the video either way. So there you go. First ever Tough video. Like, I've done shorts, but short video. Happy to do it. There you go. Now let's stop talking about Tough and focus on Contender Series, because that's the real Tuesday show. Oh wait, so move Ultimate Fighter to Wednesday, by the way. It'd make a lot more sense, but whatever. That's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed the video. My second new recap of the week. And, yeah, that's all I gotta say there. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 200 subs goal by the end of 2025. Now, unless I'm gonna say something which I don't believe I am. I think the last thing I can say to close out Tough 33 before my next video will be the breakdown on Friday is, as always, RX. Excuse me. Out. Good vibes. Only. And always.